Hi, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. In this video, we're going to talk about, if you have a question. I don't know why this camera is always blowing me out, but whatever. Okay. So, we have a question from ND's Organic Coffee. Okay. Guess what? All right. So we've got a, I'll read it out for you guys. Turning point 120, dry in at 504, first crack 840, dropping at 232. That looks solid, man. Okay, next one. Turning point 112, dry in 5 minutes, first crack 832, drop 1308, and we had a second crack here, so a darker roast. First one looks like a medium roast. Second one, it looks like a dark roast. Okay. Yes, the initial temp is still not high enough and not exactly the golden curve, but guess what? Finally, managed to go medium dark without a crevice spike, I guess, or severe spike. So I adjusted the airflow like 2 in the start, 4.5 in the middle, 6.5 first crack, and 8.5 in medium dark just to control the spike. Any thoughts regarding it? Any thoughts? Hey, did it taste good? It looks good. It looks solid. It looks like you have, like, what it looks like to me is you have much more control of your heat application throughout this roast. So we're not seeing crazy, big spikes or big, erratic heart rate, like we used to see that from you a lot, right? This one, same thing too. So it looks like we're having a much more control, maybe a little bit less so here in the second crack area. So this is probably where you were like, you increased air, right? After first crack, you probably got a lot of air going on, and this is where you're seeing a drop and maybe increasing it a little. So maybe the next time you approach this guy, and if you can taste this difference, go back and re-roast it. If you can't, or even if you can't, you should try to go back and see what this, quote unquote, I'm not gonna say defect because I don't know if it's a defect, you know what I mean? But see what this tastes like, right? In particular, see if you can identify this little, I guess, dip, because that's basically why you would want to even fix something is like, oh, is a defect. But because you could taste it, right? This is just a signal to you to tell you, maybe you have something wrong here. Maybe, right? It's something to cup for. And see if you can taste the difference. And then, so roast it again and then do exactly the same thing, except when you reach this part of the roast, and you got the air probably on full blast, right? Maybe you don't come down in heat so much here, because it looks like you pop in heat back up so that you can do this, or looks like the bean is just, again, accumulating more heat, or it's radiating more heat again, so it's spiking back up or something. I don't really know, but and then cup them against each other. So hopefully you can roast these pretty close to one another. And depending if it's a natural or a washed, like you may want to give more time to rest for a natural coffee versus a washed coffee. So they say, and see if you can taste it. Otherwise, if you can't taste the difference, and maybe you can't taste the difference, but maybe somebody else can taste the difference, then we shouldn't call this a defect or worry so much about it, okay? All right, that's all I have to say about that. So I think, great job, by the way. I don't want to, forget to mention that. Great job at learning how to control your heat. That's really, I think, our biggest takeaway from our videos like this for ND's Organic Coffee is like, we used to see crazy spikes, right? Crazy peaks and valleys. And now we're not. We're seeing a nice, steady, downward sloping curve which is not really to just get this curve, but it means, hopefully it means, you know, this is not always true, but hopefully this means with you doing this, that you have more control over your machine, right? You can get your machine to do what you want it to do. That's the ultimate goal. You know, if for a particular coffee, you need to make, you know, that middle phase a little bit longer, that last phase a little bit longer, a shade darker, whatever, right? You as the roaster / artist decides that, and being able to master your machine so that you can create cool profiles or repeatable profiles, not cool, but just like repeatable profiles, and honor the cup the best way you can, which is like roasting the coffee how you feel both respects that and the money that you paid for the green, right? All of that is all encompassed in, and I think in a result of mastering your machine so that you can do all those things. Does that make sense? So good job. I mean, I'm not there to cup it with you, so you got to do that work. Write those notes down and see if you can taste these little peaks and valleys that you have here. And if you can't, in this one in particular, if you can't, you know, try again and cup it together. And again, I keep going, because obviously you're doing something right, because you're moving in the right direction. Okay. But yeah, so far looks pretty cool to me. All right. Good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.